Welcome back to Jimmy de Ville's Garage and episode 6 of the Barn Find Fergie project. In this episode, a big moment is upon us as we put the bottom half of the rebuilt engine back onto the tractor. Also, Gav and I are going to be scratching our heads. What could that possibly mean? Here we go.
There's something quite poetic about using an old machine to bring another old machine back from the dead. And this week it's my turn to spend some quality time with my beloved old Myford. It really is starting to feel that we're making progress with our 1953 Ferguson TEF. But Gav and I have no doubt that this journey will still contain many twists, turns and surprises. This journey has, in many respects, only just begun.
It is the first thing in the morning and already Gav and I are absolutely dripping in sweat. It's gone 35 degrees, we're in a tin hut, so today is going to be a joyous day as we finally get this engine, fingers crossed, I've said that quite a few times now, bolted onto here, but we have got a few jobs to do first, haven't we, Gav?
Yeah, so we need to sort out the whole clutch assembly at the back, flywheel and clutch, get that bolted back on.
Yeah, hang on. That means we do get to use this, which I actually made for the last episode, which is a clutch alignment tool, which I turned up, but I did enjoy spending a little bit of quality time with my Myford, so fingers crossed that will fit. Yeah, what else we got to do?
We need to sort out this front bearing housing.
Just look at that. That was in a shocking state. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It looked like it'd been eaten by maggots.
Yeah, it didn't even really exist anymore, did it?
It didn't. Anyway, back in the room.
Yeah.
What else we got to do, Gav?
We need to clean that bell housing out.
Clean your bell housing out, and once we've done that, we should be able to put that engine back
on there.
Yes, exactly. So, before we go down the wrong road, shall we get on with it?
Yeah.
Let's get on with it. Here we go.
We're giving the flywheel a good cleaning up before fitting it back on the tractor. This allows us to double and triple check its condition to make sure everything is just as it should be. It's also giving us a second chance to re-inspect that crack we discovered in episode 4. Touching wood and crossing fingers, we think it's going to be a-okay. If you're enjoying watching Gav and I bring this old tractor back to life, please remember to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends so everyone can enjoy the progress. That's the flywheel greased up, looking spick and span. It's time for us to get the front bearing housing back on the engine.
Right, so I'm going to fit this front bearing housing. I'm just going to put a nice smear of oil on it just to give it the best chance in life, and hopefully that should slide nicely onto the front of the crankshaft. Nice snug fit, and in she goes. Just needs a little bit of jiggling. We'll have to line them holes up with the gasket and the block. That looks pretty good to me.
As we get the bolts back in and torqued up, it really feels like we're making some cracking progress with this engine. Things are starting to look good. When torquing up old bolts, it's really important to make sure the threads are nice and clean so they go in super smoothly. Overstressing one of these now would cause it to snap, and that'd be a big problem. With the front bearing housing done, you know what it's time for now?
Time to do some reps.
Time to do some reps, Gav. Come on.
There we go. Oh, that's a workout.
You're right, Gav.
That is a workout, actually.
Listen, I know how much you love that. Right, hang on. Should we just go straight on with it? There, rotate. 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 You're making that noise again, Gav.
Yeah.
That's about us. That's about us. That's about us. Are we going to go for it?
Yep, ready.
Yep. Should be around there somewhere.
There.
Shouldn't be able to fall off. It needs a bit of a knocking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. We get a rubber mallet. Ready?
Yep. That's it. Yep.
After torquing down the flywheel bolts, the tab washers are knocked into place. This ensures the flywheel shouldn't be able to come loose.
Just in case you were wondering, we do refer to the manual occasionally.
Here you go, mate.
This is what we need. So, clutch plate, small flange, big flange,
Yeah.
small in. Right then, this is it. This is.
It's a big moment, right?
So my tool slots beautifully in there, and then
Look at that.
Oh, look at that! Making sure that that is perfectly centric in there. Cracking.
The clutch is going on smoothly, but is it going to line up with the splines when we put it back on the tractor? Torquing these bolts up is definitely making Gav and I wince, as they're on the FT scale. With the clutch fitted, it's now time for us to get this bell housing spick and span.
Well, can you go the distance, baby? I hope you can. I'll help you go the distance because, honey, that's the plan.
We're brushing in some old petrol and it's making good progress on that dirt and grime.
I'm the man who can. You know all those things about love that you've been told. I'll tell them to you every day now till I'm old. Oh, can you go the distance? You know
The old gasket paper has no plans in going anywhere fast, but it will be getting replaced with a nice new one rather soon.
I want someone beside me through the wind and rain. And if you are that lucky guy, you stand a lot to gain. It's gonna have its ups and downs.
The hand scraper's good, but sometimes you can't beat a bit of loving with a power tool.
Can you go the distance, baby? I hope you can. I help you go the distance because, honey, that's the plan.
life's a journey, but we think that it be need. Taking turns at being in the driving seat. You know I'll wear your ring of love of sacred blessed gold. I hear you say you love me from now until I'm old. We can stick together, this woman and this man.
This old gasket is certainly taking some shifting, but the results are well worth the effort.
I know we can.
Can we go the distance? Oh, darling, I know we can.
Still hot. It is still hot. Listen, Gavin. I've said this a few times. Did you think we would ever get here? Were there times when you thought this ain't happening?
Yeah, loads. I can't stop looking at it now. I'm really pleased with it.
Look, you can tell how pleased I am because I'm touching it. So that's it. The bottom half of this engine is rebuilt. Bell housing's cleaned out, and it's now time for us to bolt this back on there. We're doing it, Gav.
Yeah,
It's happening.
I think there's going to be a few grunts and groans, isn't there?
There is going to be a few grunts and groans. The sweat is going to continue to pour off our faces, but the engine is going back on the tractor. We really are now making some good ground.
This is happening.
This is happening. So here we go. Let's get this bolted back on.
With the pistons, crank and clutch reinstalled, this is now one seriously heavy lump. We don't want to make any mistakes now, so it's all about easing it inch by inch, step by step, and getting this engine move right. One false move and this project is game over. Engines rarely slot in first time. Are we about to have a struggle on our hands?
Going.
That's on, mate.
It's on.
That is on. It's on the dowel. It's on that stud. The gap's closed.
I would imagine that to be way harder.
Yeah, me too. There's no way I thought that was going to go on there.
That's a big old lump now.
Yeah.
That just slipped straight on.
Yep.
I thought we'd be turning friend that for an age.
Once that engine was lined up, boom. Right, so I just started doing the bolts up on the bell housing after we fitted the engine, and I realised that we haven't fitted the gasket. So that was a practice run. Obviously we needed a practice run, so next time we'll do it much better.
Did it go on really nicely?
It went on absolutely perfectly this time without the gasket, so no doubt when we put the gasket in, we'll be here for at least 2 hours struggling to get it back on. But we need the practice.
Let's take it off again and try again with the gasket. Here we go again.
You came to town just to make trouble, hopping round from bed to bed. You got no friends left in this place. You got the whole town seeing red. You got a truck full of greenbacks. You got brains and you got nerve. You got the body of an angel. You got the face that you deserve.
Take 2, fitting the engine, this time with a gasket.
Nobody knows just where you came from or where you get your wicked ways. You spend your days doing nothing. You spend your nights doing the streets. You got a truck full of greenbacks. You got brains and you got nerve. You got the body of an angel. You got the face that you deserve. You love to drink.
Even with the extra fiddle of the gasket, the engine was gracious again and slipped gracefully back into place.
Like a weapon, each other lose every.
We didn't think this was going to happen, but here it is. The engine is now back attached to the rest of the tractor. The Fergie's got a beating heart, kind of almost in a bottom half of engine type way.
Yeah.
And although we had to do it twice, it did slip on rather effortlessly, if I dare say so myself.
Thanks to your tool, Jimmy.
Thank you very much to my tool, and what incredible machining my old Myford did, Gav. You're getting those piston liners to within hundredth of a thou was nothing compared to this little doozy. Yes, so it's back on, and I think it's looking gorgeous. It's clean, but it's still rusty. I just,
Still got a bit of personality.
It has got some gorgeous personality, and it's really starting to feel like she's starting to come alive. Anyway, that's enough of messing around with this. We've been hard at it and a few times didn't think we'd get here. But we can now move on to something a little bit different. So where should we go next?
Cylinder head, I reckon.
Cylinder head. So it's time for Gav and I to get on with some head scratching and see what is needed to get our cylinder head back in the game. The last time we saw the head was when we were stripping it off the tractor, and we did spot, Gav, didn't we, a couple of things that were slightly worrying.
Yeah, so you can see straight away at least 2 valve springs broken, and I think there's some more inside, which is a bit weird, isn't it?
It is a bit weird. It seems like an awful lot of springage to be broken, and we're wondering if this tractor was running like that with broken springs, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you've seen heads like this with broken springs, but those tractors are still running fine and dandy. So not only that, but we had a look underneath at the valve seats, and we were, I think it'd be fair to say, mildly impressed and happy with the state of that, because we were expecting quite bad corrosion, but it looked okay.
Yeah, considering, because there was at least 2 that were open, weren't there? So
yeah,
they were a bit corroded, so I suppose the best thing to do is for us to take them out and have a look at them properly though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We've got a whole set of new springs and new valves, so we're going to now strip the head down and start replacing bits so we can get this nice and fresh to make sure we get some great compression and this thing goes back on the engine in a cracking condition. Right. So first things first, valves are coming out, and to do this we have got a specialist couple of, in fact to do this whole job you do need a specialist couple of things, don't you?
Yeah, so you need a valve spring compressor tool really to help you get the collets out, and then
you're going to need some grinding paste, and I mean, what is the official name for that?
I don't know, it just looks like one of them old fashioned arrows, sucker.
What? But you're going to need, we must know the name for it.
A suction stick.
I mean, I'll just call it a stick with a sucker, you know, for grinding valves in.
A valve grinding stick.
Valve grinding stick. If you do know the correct official name, I'm sure it has one, put it in the comments below. But you're going to need a valve grinding stick and some grinding paste, old school like that. So there's a couple of tools you're going to need.
Firstly, the valve springs are compressed with the valve spring compressor tool. Once the springs are compressed enough, you can poke through the 2 collets which hold everything together. Then you can remove the springs and pop the valves straight out.
It would be fair to say that we're hot, we're bothered, and our ability to be performing monkeys is somewhat diminished because I'm struggling to speak, and Gav is pretty much gone into some sort of 3rd dimension. Anyway, we've now got all of the valves out of the head, and I was shocked to see that 8 of the springs, that's a total of 16 springs, but 8 of them were broken. That's half of them. Each valve has 2, so yeah, half of them have broken, small and large. And I also get the feeling that this engine was actually running with those springs broken, and the reason I have that feeling is because a lot of the springs were kind of intertwangled. Intertwangled?
Good word, mate.
Intertwined and tangled. Twangled. They weren't sat on top of each other. So yes, they might have broken when it was sat corroding for 31 years, but I have a feeling not. So I'm really interested, have you seen an old engine running with more than half of its valve springs broken? Because I think this was, but I can't confirm that. Interesting. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm amazed by these broken springs. What are we doing next, Gav?
Right, so it's time to lap in our new valves. So we're going to get some grinding paste and our little sucker stick and lap these in and make a really nice seal between these new valves and the valve seats.
Is lapping the same thing you do with ice lollies?
That's licking.
Close, close. I just got
Similar.
nice cold things in my mind. Right, come on, let's get on doing some lapping.
Yeah.
Getting really good sealing surfaces of your valve and your head is really important, isn't it, Gav?
Yeah, it really is, because we don't want any of those combustion gases or compression escaping between the valve and the cylinder head when it's closed.
That would give you a weak NAF engine.
Low compression, wouldn't it?
Low compression.
No good.
No go.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use grinding paste.
Which is essentially the engine's version of toothpaste, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really.
It is.
Yeah, I like that, mate.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's an abrasive paste, and we use that on the surface of the valve, and by lapping it, we put it in, keep turning it,
Lapping it, which is lapping it.
lapping it up, keep doing that, and basically it wears the 2 surfaces together ever so slightly to create a 2 really good sealing surfaces.
Because they fit well together.
Yeah.
Quick, talking about lapping it up, whenever you are brushing your teeth, do you ever swallow the sort of toothpaste?
That is disgusting.
Lap it up. It sounded good, didn't it? I do sometimes.
No.
Alright, get over it. Right, come on, let's get these lapped. Or brushed.
Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is clean up this area here, just so I can sort of see the seat and get rid of some of this carbon, etc.
You can see that is now looking really nice and clean, isn't it?
It's cleaned up, but
It doesn't look too bad, does it?
no end.
The thing that we've got to see is how well the new valve sits in there and matches up, mates up.
I'm just going to drop the new valve in, just see what it looks like, really. Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do now then is smear some grinding paste on the valve, just a few dots around the edge, and drop that in. Really insert onto its seat. Then we use our sucky stick. It sticks onto the valvelet so you can twist it.
He wants a bit of spit on there, I reckon, Gav.
I'll give it a little bit of lube.
Yeah, you need to get that wet. Get it moist, as I like to say.
Yes.
If you want a sucker to work, get it moist.
Right, so what we do is we put it in, give it a spin, you can hear it, the abrasive action, as though we're trying to start a fire with two sticks. Lift it, turn it, down again, a bit more. And you just keep going on, like that.
And it can take quite a while, can't
Yes, it can take quite a while.
I have been known to put one of these in a drill.
Yeah, people do put them in the drill, yeah.
You're old school, Gav.
Right, what I'm gonna do is get a little bit of tissue.
Coming up.
If you look on the valve, you can see where it's been lapping. You can see the kind of the seat, the sealing area. It's abraded it slightly. And you keep going until you get a really nice sort of grey seating area that matches the valve with the cylinder head, and then you know you've got a really nice seat. So I'll keep going at this. Yeah, like Jimmy said, it's going to take a while.
Come on then, get going.
Right you are.
I never thought I'd enjoy watching Gav do some lapping as much as I just did. That's going to take some time to finish though, isn't it? And you're also going to use the finer paste.
Yeah, I want to spend another sort of couple of hours at least getting those really nice, getting those surfaces good.
I'm glad you said that, Gav, because I'm going to give you those couple of hours to get it done.
Sure you are.
But sadly for this episode, that is all we've got time for. But I think, you know, a whole heap of stuff has gone on. We've got, most notably of all, the engine back on the tractor.
Result?
Hallelujah! Absolute result. And it's looking gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely.
Really is gorgeous. Listen, if you've liked anything about this episode, or you've got any queries, questions, or you just want to let us know something, please leave your comments down below. Also, hit subscribe and the little bell icon so you'll know the next time we release an episode. From Gav and I, happy lapping, and we'll catch you later. And start. Here we go, guys. Go again. Go again. Gonna go again. Gonna go again.
He's the finest thing you ever did see.
My mum does come out with some miraculous.
Long toes dry with hippity hop.
I'll tell you what she is famous for is her superstition phrases.
Do you need any help? No help wanted.
You know the old don't put shoes on the table.
Call on me if you need a little help. Do you need any help?
Put new shoes on the table, she goes even more wild.
On myself. Well, I left
It's really bad luck apparently.
He's rough.
It's a couple of things that we're worrying about. Nah. I'm gonna try this again. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll get
Happy? Yep, always happy.
no help wanted. Could you use a little help? No help.
I never thought I'd enjoy watching Gav do some lap dancing.
He calls me his little.
I have no idea what that was all about.
That was great!